Go.
All right, everyone, welcome to the. If you were looking this morning, good morning, good morning. If you're looking for a happy, chipper morning show for Christmas, hit the thumbs up on your way out. I appreciate it. I woke up in one of the moods today. Even grumpy ass John noticed. Damn, Beard's in the mood today. So yeah. Hope everybody's doing well. It's gonna be a bad morning when Lag is the first one in the chat. Just saying,
Always
Jeremy.
is.
Could you have not got here 5 minutes early, Jeremy, to put something in front of Lag? Flip it good. Good morning, Tactical Z. Yeah, you got a lot of great hope there, Tactical Z. But for the record, we are on time because your comment is at 8 o'clock, and we are. For those of y'all know who've never done use StreamYard, it actually has a countdown timer. So as long as you're, as long as you don't have other tabs open where you're surfing porn, you can pretty much see the timer. So
Was that why we're always late?
RG, what's up, buddy?
Look, Merry Easter, new birthday.
Absolutely, Merry Easter, new birthday.
I remember when we celebrated Merry Easter, new birthday when I was a kid.
So I guess one of the things I want to talk about today is what everybody thinks about, and the chat. You're gonna have to play in this game today. What do you think the outlook for 2024 is? And okay, so now that, and then once you ask that question, what do you think the outlook of 2024 is? What are you gonna do about it? So this time next year, you're not saying, "Oh my God, I can't sell nothing. eBay's terrible. Amazon won't let me sell. I can't source nothing." Man, all that stuff. Stop all that damn crying and whining. Put a smile on your face and say, "Hi, can I see your receipt, please?" You'll be ready to go next year.
Speaking of which, I ran into a friend of mine's father who I haven't seen in probably 30 years from high school. He was, high school friends, working at that position at Walmart.
So,
old man nowadays, but
hey, Trina, good morning. Good morning, Phil. Good morning, Josh, Michigan girl. I need to learn more names. One day I'll figure out what Tactical Z's real name is.
Barney.
I don't have a lot of positive outlooks. I just think the world is going to be so crazy next year. But Beard, what do you mean? I still think that they're going to do something that's going to cause there not to be an election. I don't think we're going to have a 2024 election and it's going to spiral out of control. Colorado fired the first shot yesterday, if you didn't see, with a Republican lawsuit funded by Soros to the tune of $1.4 million to go after Trump on the ballot. The Republicans in the state of Colorado fired back last night and says, "Don't worry, if it's not straightened out by the date, we will completely pull out of your and run and elect caucus style." I mean, it's going to get crazy, folks. The stuff that's going to happen next year, you can't imagine the chaos that's going to happen next year and how distracted you're going to be and what you're going to need to do to stay focused. Because, folks, what's happening on January 4th? Somebody in the chat tell me what happens on January 4th. The biggest distraction for January and the first part of the year is January 4th. So I'll give you all the 20 seconds. What's happened January 24th?
Is that the new paycheck from Social Security with the big increase?
No.
Okay.
But the government is spending money like crazy right now. So the military is getting the largest pay they've had in quite some time, increase. Lag's got his jelly beans ready. Nice. They are set to release the 177 names on the flight logs for Epstein. Folks, if you don't think that's going to be a zoo and all the chaos that comes on with that and the fighting and carrying on, Josh, yeah, I hope you're right. I hope that y'all look next year and go, "Why do we ever listen to the Beard? He's an idiot." I hope y'all tell me that. Well, y'all probably tell me that anyway, but I don't have a lot of faith and hope in 2024.
Oh, you've been watching the news again?
No, I don't watch the news. Although today is a national holiday, and I am RG, you should be celebrating, man. Y'all are getting rid of some scrubs, and Auburn might actually get some players today. Y'all finally gonna have some receivers because y'all got 3 really nice receivers supposed to sign today. But it's the chaos is coming, folks. All right, we have to do that. All right, Josh. Just for you. And John gave y'all his Christmas present today. He didn't turn on his camera, so you don't have to look at it. Isn't that exciting? All right, there you go, Josh. Merry Christmas. That's your Christmas present. Don't say we don't like Canadians and our home the Canadians around here.
Hey.
So Flipping Good says it's going to be extreme. And so Jeff White agrees better than we think. Last year, this time last year, when it looked like 2023 was going to be ugly and interest rates were crazy, and everybody goes, "Oh, it's going to be fine." eBay had hold my beer. Watch this. Let's change the search algorithm. Let's start doing things. Let's change the search algorithm and charge them more money. Folks, if you I'm telling you right. So why do I tell you this? It's important that you realistically look at next year and understand that you've got to have a plan. That's why the outlook for 2024. The problem is you can see the outlook and what's going to happen. It's what you're going to do about it. You know, is your business hardened enough from coming through this year of a tough year that you've made changes to your business, that you realistically look at your business and have a plan for where you're going to go? Is this 2024 finally the year you're gonna do plans and sit down and take it as a business? Because if you want to be sitting here at this time next year, getting ready to relax for Christmas and still reselling, I'm telling you, the days of, I just went to the bins and bought 300 pieces of mall clothes. Those models, I don't know that they work.
They haven't been working in a while.
They haven't been, but
not that whole industry, the bin store type industry, is just it's gone downhill.
But look at even the bin stores themselves are going under. Ours just had one of the ones here in town just put a message on Facebook saying, we're having to find a new location. The leaseholder wanted to charge us more money. So their margins are not great. We couldn't afford where we're at. We're moving. We're going to try to find somewhere else.
And of course, the clothing market, the used clothing, you might as well be used if you bought it at a bin store, because nobody bought it in the store. So what makes you think they're going to buy it online? That kind of thing.
So, Josh, I'm not the most eloquent one to deliver this message, and I don't want it to be all doom and gloom, because I really think that you've got to maintain some positivity. But I am positive that if you don't treat this as a business and really plan your way through this and take steps to, because the next thing you're going to be hearing from all these folks is, "Oh my God, the January slowdown. I've had so many returns," and it's the same every year, folks. The same people and the same arguments, because people don't get the message that they've got to. This is not easy. They see the people who are picking the holy grails and how wonderful life is, and they're smiling and look what I found. They see all those people and go, "It's so easy. Just list it on eBay. Just list it on whatever." Folks. So Trina, same here, and So it's you do. So Jeff, I agree with you. Plan for the worst, show for the best, and that's okay. So if you take my advice and you buckle down and treat this as a business and really put plans in place, I can promise you this: if it turns out to be all roses and we're skipping through the year and it's the best year ever, you're going to be the best version of reseller you've ever been, because you'll be prepared to take advantage of everything. I can promise. If I'm wrong and everything is wonderful, and you buckle down and prepare and work hard and set your business up right, I'm gonna be your hero. You're gonna put shrines up in my name. Look, this. Where's my
How come
buddy?
you don't have a poster of me behind you?
I'm looking for my friend. Where'd he go?
You're starting to sound just like me.
God, I didn't think that day would ever happen.
Hell, next he's going to say he hired a teenager.
No, he ain't do that. I'm trying to find my little guy who found his box. Damn it. Because I thought of a new title for my next video. Since the pricing video, I didn't get enough haters. This is going to be the title of the next video.
I love it.
eBay's not broken. You suck.
eBay's broken.
How many times have we said that, John? I met you in 2015. Back then, did we complain eBay was broken?
Yep.
There was things about it, but what I'm saying is broken about eBay is not a process or a system or a search or any of that. I think it's our mental state is broken.
I don't disagree with that.
I do too.
Does that mean to stop selling on eBay? No, I'm doubling down on eBay. I'm actually hiring somebody to come in and help me list. I hope to grow my sales by 200% on eBay next year. I hope to be up around $500,000.
So Larry, it is hard not to talk politics. I've committed to myself not to really say much unless it really affects them. And it's going to be hard next year because everything that they do is designed to distract, destroy, steal. I mean, we are heading teetering towards. I don't know how we make it out of this decade without civil war, without some kind of reckoning. There has to be a reckoning for what they've done to this country. And I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. It doesn't make it. I don't give two rats asses what side you're on. They are both just as evil. When 3 days ago, bipartisan support, they re-up the Patriot Act for 4 more months of spying on Americans. When are we gonna wake up? When are we so damn mad that we take this government back?
Did we have it? We haven't had it in a long time. The government, I mean.
Well, I can tell you what I see, and this is from a different perspective, but we have taken the middle out.
Yeah, there is no middle.
There is no middle. Go look at real estate. You have dirt poor, run down, dilapidated places for sale, and you got McMansions at the upper end. You have no middle. If you have any kind of affordable housing, it probably doesn't make it to market. And you're going to have the same problem going forward, like in the next year. Unless you buckle down and really and turn this into a business, you're going to be on the other side. You're going to be on the poor side of eBay. There's no middle. There's no that average Joe stuff and getting in there and making a little bit of extra money on the side. There's going to be no side hustle. You're not going to be able to afford to run it as a side hustle. You either have to go all in or go like Steve. And Steve, I'm not picking on you here, bud. You know that.
Pick on me as much as you want.
You're either going to go all in and make it work, or you're going to have to fall back and get a side hustle that actually pays on a regular basis and you're going to drop out of eBay and Amazon. And it's happening over and over again. And a lot of it's going to have to do with what we're going to be talking about in January, which is profit first. I'm watching millionaires starting to go under because they didn't run their business as a business.
And that is completely exactly what happened to me. I did not run my business as a business. Thought I was. But when I look back on it, I did not.
So Kathleen, I'm planning to do the same. And, we're profit first. John was talking about it. We'll do something the first week, probably between the 8th and the 11th, somewhere in there. John's going on a cruise on the 13th, so we'll definitely have to start talking about this early. So if you don't have profit first, grab a copy of it. That's a good place to start. My question for you, the chat, is: at what month of the year next year do y'all want to read The Great Reset?
Is there?
Where do I put Klaus Schwab's Great Reset book in the list? Where do we put it?
Josh, the problem Josh says he didn't run his business like a business either. The problem is I've been doing this for a long time. I know I've never read a business book until we read this Profit First. I've never looked into anything about how to run a business ever. That has to change if I want to change going forward. I have to treat it. Doing this, I'm working 8 hours a day, almost 6 days a week. I got to do the same when I'm in my business. Actually, I got to work more when I'm in my business for myself. And I thought I was working more, but I was watching a lot of YouTube videos and doing a lot of nothing. I'd list 10 items a day. That just was unacceptable because I can list 10 items in an hour.
Yeah, Profit First is on YouTube. There's someone that will read the book to you.
It's an AI voice. It's not the greatest. It'll get the point across if you need to do that.
Yeah, so most of these books that we're going to read are like that, so you can get that for no charge. Just do it. Don't do it to keep up with us. Don't do it for that. At some point in the day, that you've got to decide that your business is worth enough to you to invest some time to training your mind to see this like a business. And I'm not sitting here as I'm the conductor of chaos today. I'm not sitting here in any authority. I've never led books or anything like this before. I'm being selfish about doing this. So why am I selfish? Because it's holding me accountable to read this damn book to tell y'all we're going to do it. I look forward to learning just as much as you guys do. I've got the book. I'm either signing up for the Audible Saturday or I'm going to sit down Saturday and read most of it.
Y'all ask me how I average 24 books a year on business, cover to cover. I'm always talking about a book I'm reading. If you notice, this ain't basic knowledge for me. This is all shit I had to go out and study and learn and figure out. This is my second time through Profit First, and I got a lot from it the first time that I still use. But you know what? I dug into my numbers yesterday for 8 hours. I spent on my numbers trying to find out why I felt my profit wasn't enough. And I got some real answers because I used the Profit First book. Look when I went digging. So
and the one thing John and I were talking about beforehand, which it's what I've said a lot, and John has said a lot too, is folks, what I get out of this book and how I'm going to apply this to my business is going to be different than each one of you in the chat that participates. And that's the way it should be, because you can't copy someone else. But I can tell you this, we can use a lot of the same principles that apply to your strengths and the way you're set up and to what you do. That's how you're going to be successful in this. It's not to try to keep up with whatever, try to be just like John. You can't be like John. Thank God. But you can't be like me either. That's
and please, whatever you do not try to copy me.
No use dealing with all these demons. So
Steve, that's where you make the biggest mistake. Of the 4 people on this panel, you have the most advice to offer to this group of people.
It was a joke, but
I know, but I don't want people to take you seriously. You have the best advice. You have the best advice right now for any of I listen to what you say because I don't want to step in the same mistakes that you've made that you now have to work out of. we get into Amazon lending and all that. I'll be speaking up a lot because I've made mistakes and I've totaled it up. I paid Amazon almost $400,000 in interest on Amazon lending, which should have been my profit. So you have some really great advice for people that are struggling right now.
Well, I mean, the main thing I can say is, if it's not working, you got to move on and you got to do something different until you can make it work. I desperately want to get back to selling. I desperately do. But I also understand that if I can't discipline myself enough to make it a business like it should be, unlike what I was doing before, then it's going to end up in the same situation somewhere down the road again. So
Hey,
I have to do it different next time.
So Phil saying the same thing. Agree with John, and learn from someone who gets back up and who never falls. So Phil, part of your statement is false. Someone who never falls, they just don't show you they fall. Everybody falls. I'm telling you right now. I don't care what your situation in life is. Everybody. There's no perfect. There's no, living in a fallen world where chaos and sin is rampant. Things are going to happen. It's happened from since they ate on the old apple. It's everything has gotten considerably worse. Look. I mean, you would think just because you have money that solves everything. It doesn't solve everything. How many miserable people? God forsake, we're about to have 177 people who are so damn miserable with their money that they're fighting like hell. So you don't know that they abuse children, for God's sake. Their lives are so miserable that their idea of fun is to abuse children because they've got money and nothing else to do. Think about that for a second. How deprived and sick do you have to be that money? You should be all these people who control everything and get such pleasure out of controlling you. If they have all the money and all the resources at their hands, and they're not happy until they're messing with you. Just think about that and what they can do and the dominion they can have over someone else.
I am a very fiscally conservative kind of guy, but even me, the more money I had, the more money I spent, and so you just get bigger bills when you got bigger money. That's all it is. Well, we bought cars. We did a lot. We bought a lot of things. We had the money.
First, Steve. That leads into profit first.
I know it does. I read the book.
and I was the same way. I mean, I had $2,500 worth of lease payments on Infinities at one point. I had 3 of them in the driveway, and I was the only one in the house that drove. I mean.
And I never understood how you got behind the wheel. I went over to your house just to see you get in that little bitty damn thing.
That wasn't.
Oh, you're talking about the Fiat.
That wasn't the Infinity smaller. That little bitty hardtop convertible. That was a small car to see.
Oh, I never seen that one.
Oh, my race car. Yeah, that was little.
Y'all don't know
think
that
about it.
When I met John, he was driving a 2-door hardtop Infinity. And he was 2 Johns to where he is now because he's in much better physical shape now. To see him get behind that steering wheel, if I was smart enough, that would have been a viral video there.
Think about it though, people's mentality with money, even people who have no money right now, but they're expecting, let's say, an income tax return. What are they thinking of already? They're thinking of every way they can spend that money. They might get a car, they might get a computer. But they're already got that money spent in their mind, and that's the mentality that I have to get over, and I think a lot of us do.
So, Josh, I'm glad you're playing devil's advocate.
I read his comment,
and since you Canadians are the devil, I'll give you that.
Hey, wait a second here. Hold on, Scott. All I got to do is jump in the lake, and I can be Canadian here in a few minutes.
I gotta have an enemy. So think about how much our lives would have been if we were born any point in history prior to 1950. I
agree.
We are being sold that this is so much better. So Josh, tell me how much better your life is. you bust your ass working and killing yourself so that you don't barely spend any time with children that you, except when they're out of school. You know, we have no time. We don't value families anymore. You know, so what's important is it the fact that we have opportunity to build businesses. Just think about this and think about, you got to go into Gary Vee mode for a second. How many people have this great opportunity, have these high paying jobs, have houses and cars and shit that they don't need, they can't afford. They're working broke. They never see their families. They never see anything because they are slaves. You have been made a slave. I don't think we're better off. Because I've got this damn phone that tracks every minute of every day and is trying to sell me something, I'm better off.
We're definitely.
I was better off in the 80s.
Definitely healthier. We're definitely live longer. We're less independent. That's for sure. Well, not necessarily. It depends on where you were born.
But we live longer. But how many people live miserable lives because the food we eat now is not food, and the disease?
That could be true too.
I'm not here to say. I'm just saying the exact opposite. I think the opportunity is great, Josh, but we've been sold a bill of goods that, especially maybe it's not the rest of the world, but in the West, we have sold the American dream, and the American dream was created by the puppet masters who want to take everything from you. Just think about this: you don't own anything. Stop paying taxes on your house if you're free and clear on the mortgage, and see how long it takes before they come take it. You can be behind $1,000, less than $1,000, and they will throw you out of your house and auction off to pay a tax bill. Just think about this for a second. In the freest country that we're supposedly living the greatest ever, you own nothing and have to keep working, because if not, we treat our elderly, we treat the people that defend this country, we treat these people like they're nothing. You know, we treat what's important in life. We treat families like they're disposable. We celebrate baby daddies. We celebrate the worst of everything, and it's supposed to be the greatest time ever. I don't know about that.
Look at Mr. Sadie's comment. Structure. And I disagree here. I think.
Where is Sadie's comment?
It's about almost to the top now. I had zero structure in my life until I was in my 40s.
So, okay, Josh, from 50 to 27, 2007, yeah, those were the last 15 years have been miserable, and we just don't know it.
We've had a lot. Listen, we've had a lot of opportunity, but we've also, it's how we live our lives. It was a simpler time back then. It wasn't like it is now, and you need structure in your life. Without structure, you have nothing.
I think nowadays it's way harder to say become a homeowner than it was, say, in the 50s. You know,
but that's a product of the last 15 years, Steve. Look at what's happened in the last 15 years, and as these millennials are saying, it's much harder to own. And look at what the baby boomers dealt with, but versus the millennials, and how the money. If you go money to money, they're 100% right. It is way more difficult. They make more money. They make more money, but they own less, and they have less. They have less buying power left because of what inflation. I'm telling you, the printing money that's happening is causing so much. We are living through the problem of just printing money like crazy, and at some point there has to come a reckoning. That's why I don't think we get out of this decade without some major craziness that happen.
I grew up poor. I mean, we didn't have much at all, but we were still able to make it barely on one income, and my parents owned a home. That doesn't happen today. So those types of things is definitely more of a struggle for people nowadays, for sure.
I don't know. I think one of the things that came from the pandemic was people realized they need less in life. Not saying everybody, but I think there's a group of people, a large group of people that went, We can live with one car. We don't need 2 fancy cars. And I also think some of it is like in the book. I think some of it is people don't see it as profit first, but what the guy was talking about in profit first, but they walk by that new car and go, yeah, maybe tomorrow. And they kick it down the road and they, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. There's a story in Profit First where the guy drives by Home Depot every day and needs a fixture for his plumbing. And instead of stopping in and spending the $6, he goes, I'll just stop in tomorrow. And he pushed it down the road to a point that $6 didn't matter.
Okay, wait a minute. Everybody stop.
Hammer time. Oh, sorry. You said
Lag,
stop.
are you admitting that you have kids now? Todd, write that down that Lag has kids.
Gathering evidence.
He quickly went back to basement like because he realized he messed up. He should have retracted that before I saw it. But so I didn't set out to be this negative because I'm generally not this negative a person. But you got to look at everything around you. In 1970s, they decided that they wanted both people to work, and they in the late 60s they started attacking the family. You don't believe me? Go do some reading about Lyndon B. Johnson, and understand Lyndon Johnson decided he was going to attack a particular race with welfare. The banking system decided, hey, wait a minute, we'll get into the act. We're gonna take us off the gold standard, and so now we're going to attack with inflation. Folks, inflation and taxes and welfare are a three-headed beast that has just destroyed this great country. And then, of course, the puppets that are allowed it, that continue to allow it to happen. But so that's why this is so difficult. Look, January 1st. Everybody in the chat, if you don't own an LLC, what happens January 1st? If you on January 1st, if you've got an LLC, you have a reporting requirement that you're going to have to go and fill out some paper or some report to identify who you are as the owner of the LLC, because they are not happy with the fact that you can own a business under a name, and they have to have a little bit of difficulty figuring out who it might be. And so they have given you, I think you've got 90 days, 120 days, whatever it is. And then after that, they're going to fine you so much per day until you fill this out. Don't miss this.
If they find you.
And then moving forward, I think you've got any new LLC's got like 30 days to fill it out as of the January 1st, 2024.
Where do I find this paper?
Just Google LLC reporting requirement 2024. It'll show up.
I don't know. I think next year is going to be a good year if you want to make it a good year. I'm not talking about politics here. I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about your personal life. If you want it to be a good year, it'll be a good year because you put the effort in to make it a good year. Does it mean you'll have 5 cruises like me? No, it may not. But your life is going to be based on what you have and what you accept as contentment.
So don't miss what he's saying. He said, if you want it to be, that implies you have to work towards this. It takes planning, folks. I'm just the one here just trying to, and I need to take my own advice. I'm putting myself on a schedule. I'm trying to figure out what that schedule is going to be like, because my weakness has been I need to be Josh. God, if I could list like Josh, I would be John. I'm just not mentally organized enough to do this without a schedule. And so I am going to try religiously to put myself on a schedule to deal with my weaknesses and my ADHD nonsense.
Can I make a suggestion?
I ain't hiring no damn teenager.
No. It's not that at all. Go back to when you did list. What did we do? What did we do after every morning show? We held each other accountable while we were listing or doing our work. We sat in a freaking YouTube chat that we didn't record, and we held each other accountable to get the work done. And nobody had to say, "Hey, Scott, get the listing." You felt guilty if you sat there and didn't list.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I'm missing too, John, is the reason why I've gotten away so long without hiring a teenager is the fact that I leveraged Amazon to be the employee that I didn't have, and I stopped doing that, and it's caused some struggle for me in my business, and so that's one of the things I'm definitely going back to is FBA has its problems, and I understand all the crazy.
You keep the door open on that one for me, because I've been doing some research. I'm using Listing Mirror in January.
Right.
And I found somebody on Fiverr that I'm going to hire for a week that's going to teach me how to do everything I need to do on Listing Mirror. And I'm going to be able to take my FBA inventory and list it on eBay, Walmart, Etsy, wherever I want to. And it'll take it and fulfill it MCF through Amazon for me. I'll be able to do bundles. I'll be able to do kits. I'll be able to do multi-packs. I'll be able to do a lot of things. Is it cheap? No, but I want to learn, and there's no real learning material out there for this. I am going to pay somebody that has 5 years of experience working with this type of software to be able to do this stuff. You can do whatever you put your mind to if you're willing to take the time and learn and figure it out. I can afford to pay people to teach me. But there was a point in time that Scott made more money than I did. And Scott will tell you, I was always learning. I never stopped learning. I never stopped questioning. Dusty and I would get into hour-long conversations about differences of opinion. But I always listened, and I took his advice, and I tried to use it to the best of my ability.
I think one of your strengths, John, and through the years I've watched you, is you're not afraid to try things. You're not afraid to step out there and try things. If it doesn't work, you just adjust and move on. And people, that is one of your secrets to success, John. You are very open to ideas, but you are not afraid to try something and go, let's see what happens. Todd fell off his checkbook today, broke his hip. That's terrible, Todd.
And listen,
go ahead.
Not every time I try was a success. I've made a lot of mistakes over the years. Target. Did you see it, Scott? There was a Target walk by.
That is the cat that's having issues.
I can fix it. 25 cents.
I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? I was reading the chat. Sorry.
Freaking cat walked by.
He has something wrong in his mouth, and his lymph nodes are swollen. And they pulled 2 teeth on Monday, but he's not eating correctly. He can't. Still in pain. So
High Plains Flipper, I have an account that does cash accrual. It's cash in, cash out. I don't inventory every item. At the end of the year, end of each month, I give him an inventory of what my ending inventory is, and it's beginning plus or minus minus the ending is how it. So each item doesn't matter. I got to decide what I'm going to do. My sales don't support having a high paid account at this current minute, so I got to figure out what I'm going to do for next year. If I'm gonna continue to do that and struggle, or if I'm going to take my own accounting back.
That was the hardest one for me, is to let the accountant go.
Kathleen says, I try to make my schedule mimic what it was when I had a motherfucking job. I guess
we don't need another cat.
I think it means Monday to Friday, but
I like yours.
Yeah, I like yours better.
But you have to understand, I tried to mimic it to a regular job, and it didn't work. So what did I do? I got up at 3:00 in the morning, and I work before everybody else is up.
See, before John said the one thing I started to say is, folks, you guys are privileged or cursed to tune in on Wednesdays. I do appreciate each and every one of you. I don't mean to be so negative this morning, but a part of the product is as you each should be doing a yearly review. and I'm doing a yearly review of where I was this year, the things I wanted to accomplish, and that thing. And I'm not very happy with myself, my results, and so it's part of my process through thinking of how do I fix 2024 to where I wanted it to be last year. All the things that I screwed up and all the things that I didn't reach. If I don't start fixing them now and come up with a plan, and I can't be the only one, and so that's why I'm not negative. I'm generally not a negative person. I'm currently pissed off at me, and so it's kind of coming out wrong, I guess. But folks, you got to take that serious. It's got to mean something to you. I don't want to go get another job. I don't want to have another year of 2023. I'm not going to sit here and blame platforms or anything else when I can look around and I can see the struggle of platforms. But I can see where I screwed up so damn much that if I would have just been doing what I had planned to be doing to begin with and did these things, none of the platforms would have mattered. I'd have continued on.
Exactly.
And until you get to that point where you can realistically look at your business and go, I understand the platforms have got some issues. They've always had issues. It's my issues I can control. It's me I can control. And it's my fault. It's not anybody else's fault. It's my fault. Until you reach that point, you're never going to be successful. You're never going to get to where you want to be until you can own up and have an honest conversation with yourself. And it's important enough for yourself to hold yourself accountable because ain't nobody else going to do it.
All right, my turn to jump in.
Oh, hell. We don't want to look at you. Turn the camera back off.
All right.
I'm just
I don't
kidding.
give a shit. You think I care? I'm old, ugly, and bald. I don't give a fuck. I'm down 100 pounds, but I'm still old, ugly, and bald.
I've looked at that motorhome enough, but you can bring the motorhome back on. I like the motorhome.
Listen, my sales are up $800,000 this year. My company will be up $800,000 in sales. Did I get lucky? No, I didn't.
No.
I put in the freaking work to do that. And I'm not knocking you, Scott. I actually feel good that you look. He's going to take his shirt off so he feels skinny.
It's hot out here.
No, but seriously, Scott, I was at that point where you are right now, and it was in 2020, middle of 2022. I said, I can't do this anymore this way. I have to make some freaking changes. And I got pissed. And if you notice, there's a point in time I stopped coming around. And it wasn't because I didn't want to come around. It was because I had to put in the freaking work to get to where I'm at now. I had to make some changes or things were going to change for me, such as you're dealing with right now. If you don't pull your, big girl panties up and get to work, you're going to have to go get a job. Steve went through that.
This is a job.
But Steve's in that right now. So you have to get to that point if you're going to make real changes. If you don't change your mindset, you're going to fix it for a couple of weeks and then it's going to go back to what it was. Just like a freaking diet. I didn't go on a diet. I changed my mindset and I started using smaller plates and I ate less and I lost the weight. And now it's no big deal. I go on a cruise. I gain 3 pounds. I'll take it off next week. Because I didn't have 15 desserts on the cruise.
What?
You have to put the work in. You have to change your processes. You have to make changes. But you have to get to the point that you change your mindset. It's the 800,000 that I'm up is because I changed my mindset. And I have big platform issues.
Yeah, but this is the reality of working for yourself. This is the reality of reselling work for yourself. There is no, there's no water cooler talk. There's no any of these other things. It's you are the one, and you've got to be the one that this means something to. And whatever your why is, whatever when hard times when hard times hit, and hard times are coming, folks. I'm telling you, you're gonna figure out why your grandmother washed aluminum foil. That's the saying. When everything around you is falling, everything's a distraction around you. What is important to you? And so I'm changing all my process. I'm changing a lot of the thought. I'm in the middle of trying to figure out exactly how this is going to happen and what this is going to look like. I mean, I know it's going to be a lot more Amazon FBA. I'm really good at shipping. Don't get me wrong. I waste a ton of time shipping. That is not my strength. It is a strength because I'm very good at it, but it's also a waste of my time. And so I need Amazon to do the part. I need the biggest part of the thing that has been lacking in my business, as I have not seen an Amazon order in 3 months, is shut down for Christmas. Amazon never shuts down, and I think we miss that as resellers. Especially if you're selling on Amazon, FBA never shuts down, folks. People buy their 20. You can't. And just reminded, as I've been selling more stuff, merchant prevail and shipping mincemeat, for God's sakes, they are paying $25 a jar for mincemeat.
Did you do the video?
No, I didn't do a video.
Mr. Sadie asked me a question. Did your connection in Missouri a couple of years ago pay off? Yes, it paid off very well. We just built a 20,000 square foot warehouse in Missouri to actually launch in 2024 what we believe will eventually be a $10 million product line. So yes, that paid off big, but I've had those same type of situations that have fallen apart on me. It's a matter of, you got to put yourself out there and try to get it going. Phil Fan is asking, can you all give a summary of what you each sell and a strategy for a summary? I sell all new product direct from manufacturers on a volume price basis, and I work on volume with a low profit margin. It's not a hidden formula that I work on, that's for sure.
I don't sell anything currently. Very little.
Brenda, I'm not going to ignore this. Thank you so much, dear. I appreciate that. I'm telling you, it's Phil Fan. I tell you what, Phil Fan, when you get finished watching the 1,000 videos I got posted on his channel, so you can figure out everything I sell, I'll give you a summary and a strategy. It is.
That's call yourself an anything seller, so that kind of sums it up right there.
I sell anything, anywhere. There you go. I actually made my first sale on Bonanza yesterday. So there you go.
Well, I guess I have to quit altogether, even after I get financially more stable, because Roman says there's nothing left to pick in Cleveland area. So,
well, here's the thing. Here's something that you really, when you dig into this book, Scott, one of the things you need to take away from it is an accountability group or partner. You need somebody that's going to hold you accountable, that will slap you upside your head when you need it.
It leaves dents. I don't have any hair up there.
It doesn't freaking matter, dude. I'll hit you with a baseball bat. You know that. It's just you need somebody that's going to hold you accountable. One of the best things that came from that Missouri deal, what Mr. Sadie was talking about earlier, is him and I have become strategic partners. We have so much in common, and he holds me accountable. You said you were going to do this. What happened? Well, now I don't want to hear him say, you said this over a steak dinner. I actually make sure if I say I'm going to do something, I work very hard to make sure I do what I say I'm going to do, because I know he's going to hold me accountable for what I say I'm going to do.
So Phil, Stan, you just need to understand that I cut my teeth in this game on retail arbitrage. You live in the Northeast. I've sourced in the Northeast. Oh my God. To the RA up there is incredible. And understanding that part, estate sales, I would tell you are a thing that you've got to learn. But most people who you can't depend on yard sales, they're so seasonal. I love yard sales. They're my favorite way to source. I go to them every weekend from March to October here, but understand that that if you can learn to retail arbitrage, that would be my suggestion for you for sourcing is to understand. It's easier on Amazon. Is it easy as it used to be? No, but it is still a viable option. For God's sake, I just sold mincemeat that I went to Walmart for $5.48 and they paid me $25.82 a jar. By the time I figured out it was a thing, it was already over. But I did manage to find 54 jars.
Did you get them all gone?
They as soon as I list, they sell within 10 minutes.
Yeah, I looked. I couldn't find any.
And so that would be my suggestion, Phil's fan. Your stores never go out. There's always this. And the secret to retail arbitrage, and I'll tell you this because I don't talk a lot about it anymore. The secret to retail arbitrage is to get off the damn clearance aisles.
Yeah.
Was the mincemeat on clearance? Absolutely not.
Nope.
There were some little things I was selling here. There were 4-packs, one of each flavor. They were 1,600 rank in grocery. You know how long they lasted? Once I hit the buy box, about 30 seconds, they were gone immediately. You could see them all in the sales. They were all sold within the same 5-minute period.
Listen, and Scott, I've proved this to you over the years that we've known each other. I don't do RA anymore. I still can walk into any Walmart and show you profitable products. I can pick 5 products and at least one of them will be profitable.
But if you're
it's always in the same area on the same aisles, and year after year they still make frickin' money.
John, there's one item that me and you used to talk about a lot. I can walk to Walmart right now and buy that item, probably the same pattern, and it is still a $4.88 sell for $16 every day, all day.
Cha-ching.
And they make them in round, and rectangle, and square.
I know.
This ain't very. That same tan one, whatever they call it, brown. That stupid thing still sells. It still sells.
I told you. I can do. I don't go in Walmart and keep scanning. So don't think it's because I scan all the time. It's because people buy the same damn things over and over and over and over again. Stop worrying about anchovies that are freaking selling for $28 and find the products that will make you steady money. I showed Steve's wife a product in an area that is a struggle now for them, but it makes steady money. It makes steady money for her, doesn't it?
It does. She's still got some and still sells them, even though we haven't sourced them in a while.
So
they will continue to sell.
So RG's got a channel. If you want to learn some clearance and watch somebody pick up some clearance, he likes Walmart clearance. But RG, the secret is you're not on the clearance aisle. You're finding this stuff. So you have been on some toy clearance, but a lot of times you are wandering your way just through the toys and through the other areas, and because everybody's on the clearance aisle, everybody brand new starts there. They look at a Walmart, a huge store, and they focus on that one aisle that's got yellow signs on it, and they can't find anything to sell. They go, "This is terrible." When Walmart is not making their money, that's the one aisle they're not making money on, folks. The whole rest of the store, if it's in a Walmart, they don't have it if they're not going to make money on it. You got to understand that. Okay. I'm assuming that's sriracha sauce. That stuff is still not back.
I know of a big source of that stuff, but I won't tell.
Sorry, Lori just woke up and she's not. She has bronchitis. She got sick on the cruise.
So Josh sold a record of Gene Kelly's wife. I don't know how she's still alive. Maybe is it his original wife, or maybe he married somebody younger. I don't know.
How do you know it was Gene Kelly's wife? Just a question.
He died in 96. His last wife he married in 1990.
Yeah, that Hoi Fong stuff isn't what it was. I do know of a huge source of it, but I won't, because it's somebody else's source. I won't tell.
Josh said, I would like to get into Amazon.
She's still alive.
Are better than eBay.
Is her name Patricia?
Yeah. She's still alive.
Josh, I think you're wrong. I think it's based on the product where it should be sold. There are products that sell much better on eBay than on Amazon.
See,
and there are
Josh
products that sell better on Amazon than eBay.
Josh's strength is he is very good with antiques, and that's antique market is not an Amazon market. He'd have to learn a completely different product line and find different products to sell. I mean, Josh is a smart guy. Don't get me wrong; he's really smart. And
I'm not saying there isn't. I just disagree with what he's saying.
He could figure out. He could Josh, if you'd have put the amount of effort into Amazon that you put into eBay, you'd be a gazillionaire by now. That's the sad.
That kind of reminds me a lot of John here.
That's the sad reality. If you put the same effort into sourcing product and that you attack eBay with, the scale at which you'd be at Amazon is insane. You're 100% right. The scalability is much easier on Amazon.
Can we ask questions without getting banned or people pissed off? No, I still have my hammer in this room, and if I have to, I'll come in here and smash it. There are limits to our questions that we accept.
Hey, Ron, you're still around, so it's probably all right.
Ron, since you are so gladly giving out 5-star football players, you can ask questions.
But just don't ask questions about Alabama losing or anything like that. You'll be fine.
We accepted one from you, so we appreciate LT Overton. Thank you, Ron.
Listen, I think Amazon is 100% easier to scale than eBay. That doesn't mean you should be on Amazon. You have
I agree with you.
Your strengths. Scott does not belong on Amazon. Steve does not belong on Amazon.
I do not belong on Amazon. I've learned that, and that's because Amazon's what got me in trouble.
Can Scott use Amazon to leverage what he does? Yes, but unless he changes his mindset, Amazon is not the place for him for the future. Because Scott's biggest issue right now, and he'll agree with me, is he's 50. What are you now? 52?
Oh.
54? And he's going, how am I going to do this for the next 20 years? So he's starting to say words like systems, processes, all these things. And when he's ready, he will do very well on Amazon. But chasing an RA hot item fad is a struggle. Yeah. And it's not going to work 20 years from now. It's getting harder and harder now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, but I'll tell you offline what I'm going to do, but I mean, it's not a secret. I'm going to kind of document the progress, but.
And you know, I'm in your corner. I'm not saying that to be against you. And if you say to me, hey, hold me accountable to this, I'm going to ask you I'll text you every day and say, hey, what are you doing? I'll hold you.
You got to figure out what you're good at, and then how do you got to. Folks, this is the one time that you get to design your own business. I mean, you're the one running your business. You know what you're good at, your strengths. And I'm in a redesign thought process, and I've about got it the way I'm going to work it out. I just got to put the nuts and bolts to it. But if I can tell you this, if you continue to do the same thing, you're going to get the same results. As simple as that. If you continue to do the same thing, I challenge you, you're going to get worse results. That's a fantasy that you can do the same thing, get the same results, because markets change, everything changes. So if you do the same thing, so that's what's so frustrating about dealing with making videos on YouTube and talking about eBay, is all these people are so mad that their sales are bad because they continue to do the same thing as as the platforms and things are changing or moving away from what they do, and they have decided that everybody else in their life is wrong and the platform is wrong, and oh my God, I have a right to sell this crap. Instead of looking inward and going, all right, what do I need to adjust? What do I need to fix? I'm at the fix point now, and I'm not blaming platforms. I'm blaming me. And I looked inward and I'm like, wait a minute, hey idiot, you're the problem. But you've got to design it so that what your strengths are. So John, I'm gonna be running a hybrid, and
I have no problems with that, and I think you should. I really do. And I'll be in your corner the whole time. What I'm saying is, you tried Amazon, it didn't work because you don't have the systems and processes. What I'm trying to say is, you need back up what you're saying is you need to figure out what works for you the best.
So it's back. A lot of what I'm thinking, John, is back to Amazon in a modified wholesale model with me on a schedule doing replens the same time every week, and
schedule thing
treating this very seriously, and then also making it where I don't go anywhere. I can do this all from home. And having a different outlook. So instead of just building RA to build RA again, I built RA last time to do lifestyle, and that was my choice. I don't regret it. It allowed me to, take care of family and do things I want, but I need to build RA to John future. And so you've got to, what's the end of the day? What's your end goal? I can resell forever, but I want to build something so that, in a few years, it's easier or different. So that's the outlook. I've changed the outlook. So if you've got a different target, how do you build a structure? Which is, I have not had structure before, and I have not had discipline. And so the things that I know are my weaknesses is what I'm going to work on, John.
I hope you get an accountability partner, whether it's Harlan or Steve or me or Todd or anybody. I hope you have somebody that calls you on the carpet when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Now, Tactical Z, you're 100% right, Chase. I don't think so. Somebody I hold in high regard used to tell me that I needed a base level of items like replens, and then when you chase some of the other items, they were just gravy on top. Somebody used to tell me that. I don't remember who that skinny bald man was, but I just saw him a minute ago.
I'm still out there. You still build a base.
Huh?
So Tommy just watched 22 hours of Auction Perfection. He is now invincible. Nice, Tommy.
Okay.
There's plenty of things you can learn from Don. Don's a nice guy. We've got a lot of the same experiences through restaurants. You just can't. The folks make the mistake they can't be Don, and you got to be yourself. You've got to figure out what works. I couldn't be Tommy. Tommy and all the shoes he sells, and he's so damn good at. The problem is when you see somebody who is very good in a niche area or other areas, people try. They don't understand that how much effort and how much knowledge it takes to become these people have become. And so, you're like, well, I've got 3 pairs of shoes. Surely I can sell as many as Tommy does. Yeah, right. I mean, you're competing against someone who has.
If there's one thing that I'll never be, it is a shoe seller, because I've tried and I've failed, and I know it's not my thing. I've tried hard and I failed.
There's one interesting thing that Tommy said the other day. I saw in a chat I think it was John's chat Monday night. Maybe it was Monday night. Said that, and you've got to be willing to do this. He says, in the last 4 or 5 years, I've torn my eBay store down 3 times, Tommy, 3 to 4 times. You can't be scared to, if something's not working, or if there's a better way. If you're not doing the self-diagnosis that I'm doing right now, to compete in changing markets, changing ideas, changing whatever, you go by the wayside.
Flipping Goody says 90% of my inventory is shipped to me. Then I ship out to Walmart fulfillment. The other 10 is from garage sales and estate sales. I don't even have the. I did that for a while, and now my inventory is shipped directly to Amazon for me. If I want to ship to eBay to Walmart, they would ship it to Walmart. They'd ship it anywhere as I ask them to. It's about what you can build for you, what works for you. Because I have it's almost impossible to be like me right now. Because it would take you 15 years of chasing me to get to where I am. You got to start with RA, replens. And then you got to hook up with somebody like Scott who calls you and say, hey, there's a Matchbox at Family Dollar that's probably on the top shelf because it's last year's leftover toy. If you pay $15 for 2 of them, they're selling for $168 a piece right now, as fast as you can buy them. You remember that toy?
Absolutely.
And then Lori remembers a freaking blanket. What was that damn thing called? Remember a Snuggie.
Hello Kitty.
A Hello Kitty Snuggie. We paid $5 for, and we were getting over $100 for, as fast as we could find them in Family Dollar. It's about my business is now networked. I've worked through all my networks to get to where I'm at. That I deal with owners of. I had to sit down in September with a CEO of $1 billion company that gave me 5 minutes to make a multi-million-dollar deal. 5 minutes a time. But you have to do what works for you. You can't I can't copy Beard. Beard can't copy me. You can't copy Todd. Can I learn from these guys? I can learn from Steve, who's not even selling. He hasn't listed an item in 6 months. And Steve, again, I'm not picking on you, but I learned just as much from you as I do from Beard or Todd or anybody else in the chat. And I apply it to what I do.
Oh, I think the same. You know, I've learned from all you guys too.
And that's
even though I'm not selling.
The problem is everybody wants a step by step. What do I do first? What do I do second? What do I do third? And how come I don't achieve the same exact result that you achieve?
This is the part. Tommy's right. This is the part. Tommy started RA, then video, then thrift, and then auctions, and now his store. Folks, you can't compare yourself to others because you don't know what experience they've been through. People look at you, John, and can't imagine that. Imagine your life in the back of a tractor trailer shipping out $9.99 jeans. To sit on the court, they can't imagine that your store says flag company because how many flags you sell on the street corner getting started?
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I understand all that. One of my goals in 2024 is to change the name of my company. I'm tired of people saying, you sell flags? No, I'm out of the flag business.
So I hope this is the end. I think this is the end of the year show. You know, I'll be live Friday night. I'll be happier. We'll talk Christmas and we'll talk lots of fun stuff. We'll be high and do whatever Friday. But at the end of the year, you gotta have this conversation with yourself and your business. And I need to start having this every month. And for more accountability for me.
I said, but okay.
But there's Josh with the same thing. Josh, whenever I sent you a message the other day and you sent me back that long email about antiques, I know you're in antiques and that's the best spot. You were over my head about the first sentence talking about antiques, man. The knowledge you have of in your area, and so that's why even though I think you would scale Amazon, I don't. You enjoy the antiques so much, I don't know that Amazon's the right place for you. You're where you need to be and figuring out. Tommy, there's no eBay's never perfect. There's no platform that's perfect. John, go back and look at some of the stuff John and I used to talk about. Amazon runs that damn 80% rule. They get a program that's 80% right. They let it go.
Hey,
they'll deal with the 20%.
You want to talk about Amazon for a minute? Do you know that they have a low inventory fee they're going to start charging in March?
Yep.
If I don't maintain, now I have to sit here and figure out I have 2,700 items at Amazon to the tune of $500,000. I have $480,000 in inventory today at Amazon after Christmas season. So how much did I have 2 weeks ago? And I have to make sure that my inventory is not low, or they're going to charge me a fee. It is not easy.
Well, they said it's not a fee; they're just going to charge you a higher selling percentage or whatever the hell. They haven't come up with the nuts and bolts of that, but they're working on it, which is scary. And they have. I mean, there's so many things where, how many times has Amazon gone down and on and on and on, and they've gotten better at Q4, but a couple of years ago in Q4, they completely shut down intake because they put all their employees to outtake because they were understaffed.
Man, you remember that? Holy cow, that cost me a fortune.
It's everyone's this, and so, but eBay's the easy target. And why is eBay the easy target? Because it's the easiest one to start. There's no barrier to entry. There's there is a huge barrier to success, but there's no barrier to entry. And so, and the whole part of it, so I'm gonna redo the title. eBay's not broken. You suck. That's probably too harsh. It's
Merry Easter, your birthday.
It's they don't. People just don't compete. They expect it to be given to them. They don't compete, and they don't.
How's Pat's health? Pat, how's your health? Give us a health update. You're in my prayers, buddy. I pray about you a lot, man.
Yeah, he's another one that's lost an entire person. Pat, you've seen Pat D's. He's about half of a Pat D's now. He said stable.
Good. I pray for you, buddy. All right, I'm done being happy. I'm going back to being grumpy. That was only for Pat.
I think I'm gonna try to do a better job this next year of documenting some of the how do you, because I struggle in making videos to what people need versus I'm a teacher. I'm not the entertainer, and I accept that. What do people need to see to help them build, to help them, on my shorts I show finds and that kind of stuff, and that's fine. But I think the people that are doing this long term, that seek out, they need to see that even people that have been doing this, I've been doing this since 13 full time. It's still a struggle. It's none of this is none of this is guaranteed. None of it's easy.
If you would have told me a year and a half ago, or even a year ago, that I'd be doing Walmart delivery, I'd have laughed at you. But the signs were already on the wall that I was in the wrong position. I just didn't see them.
The good times of COVID, which it's kind of hard to say that was for online reselling. That was good times because lots of things. It covered up a lot of the ills you didn't know, because so much was selling you didn't realize the position.
Simple things were selling. My wife made a fortune on beef stroganoff. I mean, it was crazy. Just those little packets. She bought a $2,500 ring just off her profits from the beef stroganoff. A ring that she's always wanted, and that was her goal with that money. She wasn't even a full-time reseller at the time.
I mean, all the chili packets and all the crazy stuff that it was just insanely selling.
It was crazy.
What'd I do? Get freaking knocked out?
Yeah.
Now I live in an RV, so I get bounced around sometimes, guys.
So Mark, you're gonna be out of luck, Mark, because customer damaged is not a. Amazon tells you that's a cost of doing business on FBA. They never reimburse you, correct?
Now here's the problem. You have to do.
Cha-ching.
You have to keep doing what works for you. Not when, and if it works for you, and you want to dabble with something else, if you dabble a little bit and it doesn't work, go back to what works for you. Steve, I seen the writing on the wall, and I tried to point it out to you, and you couldn't see it. And there's times when people have pointed out my mistakes to me, and I went, "You're full of shit." And guess what? They were right. I was making a mistake, and I had to find out for myself. I had to fall flat on my face and pick myself up and do what's right. Scott, I'm going to tell you right here and now, if you need somebody to hold you accountable next year, I'll help you if you need somebody to hold you accountable, because I will call you at 4 o'clock in the morning and ask you what the fuck you're doing because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. This isn't hard, but it ain't easy. There's nothing hard about what we do, but it's not easy.
See, Mark, the problem is the FBA. You turn over return and all that authority to Amazon. Amazon took the return no matter what it is, and you must live with it. And they're not going to reimburse you for shipping. They're not going to reimburse you for back and forth. They're going to hit your account for the money plus. So you're going to lose the item and the shipping both ways.
Josh says it's still grumpy. Problem is, you really have to be careful who you listen to. No, I'll listen to anybody. That doesn't mean I have to follow their advice. I will take it into consideration against everybody else's advice, and I'll pick what I think's best for me.
I got a pretty decent bullshit detector, but I'll listen to you anyway.
Yeah. So there's the advice. The more expensive, the more you have to lose an item, the more expensive it is. You don't do FBA.
Hey, Lag's here.
Yeah, Lag's here.
Been quiet today though, Lag.
He's got me blocked. I wish he unblocked me. I miss him.
So
I think it's the other way around, isn't it?
See, most people.
Yeah, that's right. I got him blocked.
The strength of FBA is to sell a bunch of stuff over and over. The one-offs and those kind of things, and I mean, sure you can get, some people send in, dual players and all that stuff. At the end of the day, those kind of things. If I list them on Amazon, I just ship them. It's not.
So we're not saying not to sell that item. We're saying not to sell at FBA.
I'm selling you not to sell at FBA.
Yeah.
So you at least have a 50%. You can get 50% of your money back for an item not returned in the same condition.
Listen, when I started, I hated Amazon's opinion on the customer's always right. Refund, you know what? I've adopted it. It works well. And in the end, it really doesn't matter. But
also that your product mixes. I mean, so you lose some of the things you say. You don't lose. You're not losing the $700. You don't even have a $700 item. Who are we kidding? You have built your business on, and people can't understand that you've built your business on lower cost items. So what if they send the sticker? So what if they send car parts back? So what if they send a kitchen set back? Whatever it is.
But I do it on the higher. I do it on higher price items too. I've lost $1,000 order. It just disappear. And have no recourse with Amazon. It's just part of doing business. I mean, if I had a retail store, there was theft. Hell, nowadays they smash your freaking windows in. So not only is there theft, you got damage to pay for.
Or you could always do like CVS and put everything behind locks. That's crazy.
Or California, where you just write off up to $900 per customer.
But I hope each one of you that listens to this, and again, hit the thumbs up. We appreciate it. Really takes the time to sit down and honest look at your business. Even if this is the best year you've had, and congratulations, 2023. No, Johnson, this is his best sales year ever. But he is doing the same thing. He is looking at what he's doing. He's trying to figure out how could it have been better. how does 2024 better than 20? John, if you do the exact same thing in 2024 that you did in 2023, look at the profit you're now seeing that you would have lost that you're going to gain next year just by examining your results, even though they're great results. Don't be satisfied with where you are, folks.
I spent 6 months sourcing one of my top selling products.
Cha-ching.
I found a source that I can buy it for 68% less than what I pay right now. Same product, but I'm paying 68% less. I have an instant additional profit in 2024 of $150,000. If I didn't go looking for that, I wouldn't have picked up that 150,000. I constantly look for how do I improve my business.
Mm.
Pat D says this is my second best year behind 2020. This is by far my biggest year. Next year will be by far my biggest year. The reason is I'm going into Canada. And when I say I'm going into Canada, I'm probably going to ship a full truckload into Canada, Amazon FBA, sometime late January, early February. I'm trying to get
you're not doing remote fulfillment. You're doing actual into Amazon.
I'm shipping into Canada by truckload. I did $220,000 this year in Canada FBA sales. Profits are higher, less competition, and PPC is lower.
I would bet.
You got to find the right product because there's not as many Canadians.
I would bet though that most American companies aren't going to do that. They're not going to ship directly to the FBA fulfillment warehouse.
Yeah, that's
there are some.
John is doing what other people are not going to do, and he will benefit from.
They're going to look at the cost of shipping it there, and that's all they're going to look at. You're not going to look at the potential profit as much.
I'll do $1 million in Canada next year.
See, Josh, see what you're missing, Josh? John's coming to your country to sell to you.
Who's Josh?
Josh Galt. He's a Canadian.
Brokering trucks is a huge barrier to entry for many people. I'll be honest. I got my wife's sitting here, so she's probably going to freak. I got about $8,000 in fees that I'm paying to help me broker everything through Canada. I have to have bonds for my import fees because it's going to be so high. I have to now carry bonds for import. I have all these forms that I don't understand that I have people fill out for me. I pay people to do that stuff because I feel it's worth it. I'll pay the $8,000 to make $1 million in sales.
I don't know anybody who wouldn't, pay $8,000 to make, but they don't look at it that way.
But they also, but you can't say, oh, it's $8,000 to sell $1 million, because you also have to have, it's probably going to cost me $160,000 to send the inventory up there. You got to have that money too. You got to have all the money.
Right.
And don't forget, I have a network of people behind me that will back me up. I have 20 billion. I have $1 billion company that will stand behind me and help me get my stuff into Canada. That's like, did you know Amazon now has a warehouse program? AWD. You can ship in a truckload of product and sell one at a time out of their warehouse without the fees of the long-term storage fees that you get with FBA. It takes work.
I had missed that, but no, I hadn't seen that. All right, so is there any questions anybody in the chat's got for us? Okay. 30 minutes or till my bladder goes off, whichever goes first.
Yeah, Josh, I got people to handle that HS stuff. I don't understand it. I have a tax guy up there. I have 3 companies that people have helped me acquire relationships with that handle all my cross-the-border transactions. And so, yes, I am going to go very big in FBA next year.
We'll give you something different to look at on the ticker going across. Probably not that I'm going to do. I'm gonna spend the first quarter building. In order to be where I've got to be, the first quarter's got to be about laying down the groundwork and getting switching gears.
He ain't got time. He's got to make a decision and start making money for the future, or he's going to get my foot in his ass, and I'll drive to Alabama to do it.
And Josh asked, "Are you shipping to the Missaulaga Fulfillment Center? If so, are you going right by his house?"
Josh, I honestly don't know. I don't do the ordering.
That'd be a question for his brother, not for him. So Carol asked, "What's everyone doing for Christmas traditions?" I think I generally don't know what I'm doing until I'm told where I'm supposed to go.
I'm going to a warmer climate.
I'm almost positive we're going to Stephen Marsh's.
Not that one though.
Not you.
I don't like these imposters at all.
Here's what's going to happen. Christmas Day for me, I get up about 4:00 in the morning. I get myself a cup of coffee. I sit down. I look at my numbers, and I go to work until my wife gets up about 8:30, and then we'll probably go to breakfast at Denny's. I work 365 days a year. Christmas is no different. And that's what makes me different than 99% of the people out there, is that I get up and do the work every freaking day.
I will be traveling to North Carolina.
Trina's flying to Washington State. That's a long ways from the South. That's one of the states I haven't been to.
We're having the boys and theirs and dogs and in-laws. We're doing the big turkey dinner here, so.
I'm going to go hang out with Santa Claus is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
That sounds cool, but I mean, it's just, I made a decision and I work.
I've worked on Christmas. Especially during the pandemic years where there was a lot of orders to fulfill, I'm
at work. I'll probably go live just for a few minutes just to say hello. Wish everybody
We use Princess a lot. What else we use? Carnival. I'm looking at a 42-day cruise to Europe on Holland America.
Christmas Day has always been a good sales day for me. The last 7-8 years I've sold. It's always a good sales day.
Yeah, I don't sell nothing Christmas Day. I did like 2,400 last year. I'm hoping to get to 2,500 this year.
I'm going to shut my store off.
Which is a losing day for me. I lose money if I don't sell a minimum of 7,500.
I can tell you one thing about me this year as opposed to every other year is I am not worried if I sell a damn thing, over Christmas vacation, because I don't have to worry this year. So in a way, I think mentally I'll be better off this year. Now, I want to get back into it. No, I'm not from Sweetwater anywhere, by the way.
So US Freedom 5, there is a link in the chat there. I just use the regular, they're called spy pins, is what Amazon refers to them as. You can get 10 of them for like $9.99. They are, they have the little light built into them. So I mark every electronic to make sure I get mine back. The other thing that I don't do as much anymore, I had some of those stickers that it would say void of warranty. to make sure nobody takes them open for parts. But but the biggest thing is to record the serial number in any listing you do, and that way you've got a record that most platforms will recognize if it's in a listing. So I always take a picture of it.
Now, Josh says, I cross the border every day, Grumpy. I see thousands of trucks crossing every day. If other business can do it, you can too. I tinkered with it in 2023. I messed around. I said I shipped the most I shipped was 4 pallets in October for Christmas. I sold out of everything already. It's about what we've been talking about on the show. I need to make a decision, set down, make a plan, and actually go ahead and do it, which I've already done, as you can hear. I know I'll be successful because when I have a stumbling block, I won't throw my hands up and go, I can't do it anymore. I will figure out how to get it done.
So they look kind of like this. They're kind of cheap, but I haven't had one dry up yet. They last, but the lights on the end of it.
Winding.
They work pretty good. So
I can't see anything.
Merry Christmas.
Still can't.
I can't see it. All I see is a light, and I can't see it.
I think the camera is just screwing with the way.
I'm sure of it. I see it now.
Yep.
But I generally put it on somewhere. Like if I'm gonna sell this remote here, I would just open it up and mark the corner. Because when it dries clear. You can't see it, and then it's yours because you can. It shows it's hard the way the light reflects on it, but it shows the marks. Yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate that, Josh. My wife wants to actually come to Niagara area. She's been on me about Niagara Falls.
Yeah, he drives across over there, and he's got a storage and all this stuff. So he ships and sells all the stuff for eBay on the U.S. side, and then goes back.
If you ask me what would be the big advancement for anybody's business currently, it would be the cross list. It is going to be the thing I work on the most in 2024 is cross listing what I currently sell on other platforms. Even if I can't make a big, huge dent, I'm still selling more than I was before of the same product I already have. It's a matter of putting your mind to it and actually doing the work to figure out how to get it done. Or like me, hire somebody that can get it done for you. I got somebody who's going to teach me how to do it.
Yeah, I have the 555E. I don't think it's got an S on it. I think it's just 555E.
Mine's just a 555E.
It's a 555E. I think the S gives you a couple different options. With the S, I think allows you to do the foot pedal and some of the other things, but I use the E.
You're going to pay a little extra for the S.
And I rarely see it ever come up.
And for those that are interested, there's businesses that are going to be out there for sale cheap. I am looking at a business currently in Ohio, so that I can be neighbors with Steve.
More the merrier, John.
Yeah, here's one for 624.
I'll be dead. Do you think I'll ever step foot in that state other than to sign the paperwork and set up the company? I will not work there.
You might not work here, but you damn sure will visit. I know you will. Because you like it here.
Not that area. Not where the
parts
farm
of this
is.
area.
Oh yeah, I like parts of it.
Anywhere close to me, or is it somewhere?
I don't even know where you are. I'm down by the farms, down by the Kentucky border,
Oh no,
near
no, you're on the
75.
opposite side of the state, opposite corner of the state, even.
But I'm looking at buying an entire company, manufacturing and sales.
So tell me this makes any sense. There's a seller here with no feedback, has seven 55Es for $317 each plus 70 shipping, so 400, which is a really good price. They've sold 3, so they had a total of 10. They're selling them as is, no returns. But you come down to the bottom, it says in great working order, ready to use right out of the box.
Well, that's an iron ad waiting to happen right there.
There's
Is it for parts of repair? I mean, actual parts of repair, because that's
no.
how some of them cover their ass.
It says no, it's used, just used.
Yeah, so used has to be working according to eBay.
Correct. You can't put as is in the title and then say it works down below and think because you don't take returns, you're not going to get one back.
If that thing didn't work and I spent $400 on it, you better believe you're getting it back.
Not to mention,
And I'll even pack it better than you did.
I don't agree with the way eBay allows you to do this. If you have 7 of them available and they're all used, why do they allow you to use one picture to represent all 7 of them? You know, show me the item I'm buying or I don't buy from you.
Well, I use the picture of the worst thing if I'm doing it that way. The worst looking condition one. That way, when they get the better condition one, I'm not better packed 555Es, of course, but if I have 10 DVDs, I'll take a picture of the worst looking one.
Tom, it was in a meeting. Did you miss anything? Yes, we had piano lessons while you were gone.
On my piano? Oh, Tom would be so pissed off at me. He's going to hate me forever.
I meant to do that for Tom just so he thinks I'm celebrating Christmas somewhere. Feliz Navidad.
Ooh, I didn't see that one.
Oh, I didn't see that one either. I got to try it.
It's because I stole it off the internet. Feliz Navidad.
Let's see what I got for Christmas. Nothing.
Nothing.
Have a
I got
Christmas
just
one.
my piano.
I have a wall that I'm sinking into.
These are just for you, Tom. This is how much we missed you while you were on the cruise.
Tom was on a cruise too.
Yeah.
I started to sign in last week when I was on the cruise. I seen the link pop up. I figured my wife wouldn't be very happy with that because it was like god awful early to us.
But this is most people, take it easy the next week or 2, week or 10 days. But I would challenge you in your downtime. Doesn't just because you're not physically doing some of the things doesn't mean that you can't advance your business and get ready for next year. I think that's the part that people miss is you can only eat so much turkey or whatever it is or so much things. That's why let me turn this off because if I move around, all right. Sorry, Tom.
Here's a test question and see how many people are actually looking at 2024. Is next Christmas season shorter or longer than this one? It's the shortest possible holiday season there can be between Black Friday and Christmas Day. It's the shortest. Thanksgiving is happening the last possible day it can happen in November, unless the frickin' Democrats change when we have Thanksgiving.
And my birthday would have been Thanksgiving next year.
Can't you guess? You got a 50% chance and you lost.
But because of that, I have to order different. I have to stock Amazon different. I have to do a lot of things different so that I don't run into major issues with some of my product lines when they get real hot 5 days before Christmas.
So the one thing I would challenge you is figure out a way of taking notes. The one thing I've been very pleased with is my memory and stuff because I've forced myself to put stuff in the phone that goes to the computer. Uh, find a way if you're going to be visiting or doing whatever, find a way to jot down your thoughts. You'll be a um, sorry, messing with Johnny.
I've already to give you an idea how far out some companies plan. I've already planned out Christmas next year. Now, will I have to adjust those plans and things as the year progresses? Yes, but I have a basic strategy for Christmas next year of what I want to do, how I'm going to price things, what discounts I'm going to offer, am I going to use coupons or sales? I have a whole strategy of how I'm going to do things next year.
All right, Kent, I'll play your game. Software update. It says I'm up to date.
I think I need to do 2.1. I turned off the beta. I only used the beta for one purpose, and it served that purpose, and now I don't need beta anymore. But yeah, it says I need a software update.
I knew I was ahead of you. There was no beta. I don't think there's beta for the rest of the year.
Not for the rest of the year, no.
Just, I mean, you guys have to work on. You don't have to work on. You do what the hell you want. But for me, I have to start planning this stuff out now because otherwise, I'm planning to fail.
There, I'm updating now.
So the one thing I'll be working on, John, is through the year is as I do things, I want a repeatable process, more of a calendar based.
Thank God I'm freaking sitting down.
So it'll be, so if you want to sell Valentine's stuff, that stuff should already be done. If you want working on Easter, if you want some of these things that are products that come out and at certain times of the year, how do you remember? How do I remember? My memory sucks. How am I supposed to remember mincemeat next year? I've got a calendar. It's going to remind me to. Is it going to be easier to buy mincemeat in October or December 1st, whenever all the stores are out?
Well, that's like the chocolate covered cherries.
Yeah, Tommy, I think 17.3 beta came out last Wednesday. Whatever day it came out. It also updated the MacBooks.
Yeah, Mr. Sadie, I am getting a little dizzy after Scott said repeatable. I've only tried to bang it into his head for 8 years.
I'm finding out that scheduling is necessary. When I go back to full-time reselling, it will be on a scheduled basis. My days will be scheduled out.
Why are you here today?
Y'all are being mean to me. I'm taking.
Why is who here today?
Why are you here today, Steve?
Me?
Yeah.
Because if I'm not here, well, first of all, I'm here today because, it's our Christmas show.
It's
second of all,
it's Wednesday morning. We do it
because
every
it's scheduled.
Wednesday morning. It's
and
scheduled.
I'm learning that sort of thing's important. The main reason I'm still here, even though I'm not selling as much, is because if I'm still fresh on everything that's happening. You know what I'm saying? If I stop doing this, then I stop talking to people and I drift off and nobody will hear from me for another year or so. And I don't like that. So that's why. But I want to keep fresh up with what's going on so that when I do go back to full time, then I know what I'm doing.
I had a discussion that this goes to the point. Somebody says, I admire John for willingness to learn something new at his age, keeping the mind young. I had a discussion with my mom a few years ago, and you know what her biggest regret in life is? When she stopped working, she stopped learning. And she says, that's my biggest regret in life is I stopped learning. And now when I need something on my phone, I got to hand it to my 6-year-old granddaughter and ask her to put it on my phone or set it up for me.
You're 7.
So, okay, 7-year-old granddaughter.
Don't you get it wrong.
Carla and I talk about that a lot. I'm like, man, with older parents, I'm like, and I do not want to be that way. I'm like, how do you?
So Mark wants to know how I'm surviving off of Spark Pay. For those of you who don't know, right now I'm doing Walmart Spark, which is grocery delivery. It's a gig app. We do pretty decent, but both my wife and I are doing it, so that helps. But we do, $150 to $200 a day on average. So each, so that's not too bad. Not all days. I had a day last week that I made $103. It was bad.
Can I say what you're doing? Because I
Say
think
whatever
you're
you
missing.
want.
Because I think you're missing. I think they're missing how you actually survive on this stuff.
Well, because I treat it like a job. I
No.
go in for 8 hours a day.
It has nothing to do with that. You live within your means.
Yes, we don't use credit. Well, we had to use credit card for the cat the other day, but other than that, we don't.
You
Unless
make
it's
$200. You make $200. You're not spending $400 in a day.
No.
You're living within your means.
And we did all our cards on 0% interest, so those are the big expenses right now, and that's why we're not, breaking in money hand and foot, right? But because we're paying off all those big old stupid credit cards that we shouldn't have had in the first place. And I do it 8 hours a day. I start we leave here at 6:45. The first order comes out around 7:30, and I work till 3. So
I got a question
and sometimes
for John.
farther.
Go ahead, Todd.
If I have no plans for 2024, am I going to fail? Because right now I'm 15% up on 2023, and I don't plan much.
But
Not necessarily.
But you do plan. You might not see it as planning, but you do plan. Why are you up 15%? Because you was watching because your plan was to watch the market and buy at the right time, based on your experience.
I guess.
I mean, you didn't throw a freaking dart and say, okay, on the 15th of March, I'm going to buy $18,000 worth of silver.
Right.
You have a plan to watch the market. I mean, your plan doesn't have to be as detailed as mine because your market, what you do is different. But you do have to have some kind of plan. You get up every day and you look at the numbers. I'm sure you look at the numbers.
Sure.
What's the spot? Watch. To prove my point, what's the spot price today for silver?
$24.25.
How do you know?
I looked.
See? So
It's
your
not a
plan
plan,
is to get
though.
up
I
every
just
day and
looked at it.
educate yourself.
Well, you've set a schedule for yourself to do it every day. So you've planned out how to do this every day.
See how
You do it
close
probably
I
about the
got
same
it.
time every morning, right?
I don't know. I just look at it in the morning when I'm sitting on the crapper.
And how old are you?
68.
So you're retired technically?
Yeah, I've been retired for a long while.
Okay, why the frick do you need a plan?
We're still got to make some money.
You're not
like,
trading silver as a business, are you?
I don't like seeing my fixed income worth less and less and less every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you don't trade silver as a business.
I was off a penny. 24.26.
But do you trade as a business?
Not silver.
See? So it's a different thing than what we're talking about. What we were talking about is a business, and business without a plan fails. If you don't believe me, look at Sears. They failed to plan that the internet was going to. Speak of the devil, look at the dog drug in. Merry Easter birthday there, Harlan.
Has the show started yet? Am I late?
No. No, we're just getting ready. 10 minutes before we start.
Today's your birthday? Happy birthday.
Whose birthday?
You.
Nope. Mine's in May.
Close enough.
6 months. It's about
Yeah.
half.
Oh, that was Grumpy. He's wishing everybody a merry birthday.
No,
was
Merry
Merry
Easter.
Easter and new birthday.
That was Joe Biden yesterday.
That was
my
Joe
God.
Biden.
He actually made that statement.
White House?
Exactly.
Merry Easter, happy birthday.
So Glenn.
You know the thing. You know the thing.
God.
All right, now that the dogs are here with the door open, it's cold again. I've been
It's
Uh,
supposed to be warmer here today.
Brenda says this is nothing to do with reselling, but buy beef now, and she's right. The beef prices are going to go nuts. One of the people we talked to on the cruise has a cattle farm, a beef farm in North Carolina, and he said the numbers are getting stupid on beef.
It's designed. They're doing it on purpose.
Doesn't matter what they're doing on purpose. It matters if you want a steak next year, you better frickin' buy it. I can't change what they're doing. I can change if I have a piece of beef in my freezer or not.
I'm a dumbass.
We're on sale for $5.
I'm like,
What?
I'm sitting here thinking, I sold a Garmin unit yesterday on Amazon, and I'm thinking, I went to the building, I looked all over the building yesterday afternoon. I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and ship it because within an hour of selling it, I've seen it somewhere. I knew I saw it in the building, and it's not with the Amazon inventory and any of the 22 bins. I knew I see it somewhere. It's sitting right here beside me.
Got a great. See, I think for 2024, you need to work on your inventory system there.
No, I've got
He
one.
needs-
I listed this sitting here, and it didn't get to the bin to go to the building.
That's my biggest issue is listing it here and not getting it in the bin. And then somehow it gets into the wrong bin and then I can't find it.
Folks, don't miss these. That's a used $180.
Nice.
Steve,
Yeah.
January
Yeah.
at Staples,
Yes.
banker boxes will be on sale.
My Staples doesn't carry boxes. I know it's crazy. You just don't. Zero boxes.
While you're driving around, banker boxes will be on sale. They are on sale every year in January. Buy yourself a bunch, and as you list, put it in that box and mark that box. That's what I did with the.
Well, I do that
What I did
system
with the
just with
team-
totes.
No, you don't do it because you just said you lose it, or it goes
Sometimes.
in the wrong bin.
Because I'm lazy, not because I don't have a system in place. Because it doesn't get put in there. It's not often, but I do lose items once in a while.
And I need to go ahead and stick this in the eBay box because I listed it sitting here too, and it's in the same. It was on top of the GPS.
Yeah, I've been into a bunch of Staples stores, and ours is the only one that doesn't carry boxes. Not a single one. It's weird.
Dusty. Remember, Dusty was famous for that. He would list something and stick it in a freaking box and worry about it when it's sold.
I used to do that.
Man,
there was
I
a time when I did that. And I never lost an item back in those days until I did. And then I changed my mind about my systems.
Dusty
But
had
that-
an uncanny ability for remembering where he put stuff.
Yeah, the building is made a big difference. I know just about where everything is over there. I just remember seeing that. And I'm like, which one of the? Because I'm like, I remember seeing it. I just couldn't remember where I saw it because I keep looking at it right here.
I think the biggest issue for me is my memory isn't getting better. You know, the older I get. So having that kind of system where you just remember where things are, which used to work for me, does not so much anymore.
It worked for me when I had 400 items, but now I have 1,400. So
Right.
I
It's
can't do
different
it
the bigger
anymore.
you get. Yeah. And
Here's a
it's not a big deal to put a letter on a box and put it in your custom SKU, on eBay or whatever. Not a big deal. It's easy to do.
There's a question for you, Todd. Where can you buy American Eagle coins? He wants to get a tube for this year for his firstborn. What's the best place you can straight order that from?
I'll put a link in the side chat. Dun, dun.
And that was Tri-State Picker asking that question.
Hero Bullion oftentimes has the best price. And I'll put a link right now. Almost there. There you go. They sell Silver
There
Eagles
it
about
is.
as cheap as anybody online. So they're.
See you, Glenn.
Yeah, we're about to be done here anyway, Glenn. Wait 10 o'clock yet?
Almost. How you been, Harlan?
You can write them a
I'm
check
doing
and
good.
get them for $29.50.
That girl still hanging out with you?
Yep. She kept me around.
Send her my condolences. I'm glad to see you happy, buddy. You deserve it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I feel bad that she's unhappy, but
I know. Can you believe that? What's she doing to herself?
she got you out.
I think all of our
Power.
wives, all of our
He's
wives,
standing-
girlfriends, whatever, might have the same outlook on life.
He's freaking standing in line to see Santa and shit, man. The guy's like doing all this stuff now.
I know.
He's probably watching Hallmark at night.
Oh, no.
Not
You got to
yet.
draw a line somewhere.
The relationship hasn't progressed that far yet.
I would never. Well, we did sit down and watch A Christmas Story the other day. She had never seen A Christmas Story.
Great movie.
She watches less TV than I do, which is pretty crazy because I don't watch a lot of movies. I don't watch a lot of TV. If my TV's on, it's usually on a ball game, and I'm usually not even watching that. It's just for noise.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, hopefully we give you something to think about today. Really focus on where you're going. You're not going to get there unless you figure it out. You got to have a plan.
She gets the ring on Christmas morning.
Right.
Stick a fork in Harlan. He's done.
I wouldn't bet on that.
It's only like 4 months. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on that.
I know people that got married after a week and they're still married 50 years later.
That's good.
That's good for them. I wouldn't bet on that. All right, so that's everybody. As we leave, hit the thumbs up and put in the chat. How long should Harlan wait before he gives it a ring?